Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we are doing our first ever coverage of an NXT show. NXT is just too on fire not to cover it. And this episode is probably one of the best in weeks. So I just wanted to cover it real quick. And if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, and if you guys haven't also followed me on Twitter, it's at Crispy Wrestling. It's the same as on YouTube. Twitter is pretty much my home base for wrestling content, so if you guys want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Crispy Wrestling, I'd really appreciate that. But, you know, the Judgment Day started NXT, and obviously I think NXT is going to be getting high ratings because of the Judgment Day. And obviously it was always good to see the Money in the Bank briefcase on NXT. There's a couple of people that thought, Damian Priest will cash in on Melo, and I didn't think that was going to be a serious possibility. And of course Rhea, I really wanted Rhea to face one of the women tonight on NXT. NXT, as you guys may know, is the best women's roster by far. So I want to like to see a unique matchup with Rhea because we've seen her face Roxanne, but we didn't get that. But it was always good to see the Judgment Day there. And of course Finn Balor saying Daddy's home. He's not wrong. I think he has the most combined days as NXT champion. I know Adam Cole has the longest one-day reign. One reign. But, Finn Balor ain't wrong. He's probably one of the GOATs of NXT. Rhea's one of the women GOATs of NXT. No disrespect to Damian Priest, but Finn Balor and Rhea were just on different levels on NXT. But, of course, the main premise that the Judgment Day came to deal with NXT for Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. And Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams came out, obviously, with the drip. I mean, obviously, they were going to come out with the drip. And this was going to set up our main event, which was going to be Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams versus Balor and Priest. And Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams were roasting the hell out of Priest and Finn. Finn Balor was speaking like a seasoned veteran. So was Damian Priest. Trick Williams, I think, I forgot what he said, but, I just love this segment so much. It was probably one of my favorite NXT superstar and WWE superstar interactions, main roster interactions. It's just a perfect blend, and I think this rivalry with bringing in this rivalry between Melo and Trick and the Judgment Day, it's just so good. I really like it, and obviously the Judgment Day gets a lot of TV time, which obviously on Monday Night Raw is pretty evident, and obviously we gotta go back to Finn Balor. Obviously, this is a picture of him in NXT. One of the GOATs in NXT, in my opinion. The dude just put on constant bangers, kind of like Carmelo Hayes does in NXT. Just absolutely unbelievable. And good to see Finn Balor back at his home base of NXT. And next up, after the opening segment and after that match was set up, we had Chase U beat Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak, which we all expected. I don't know what Gulak and Dempsey are doing. I hope eventually they will go off and have their own singles, or Dempsey has his own singles feuds. But one of the things I posted on my Twitter is the Alpha Academy and Chase U feud. Like a feud that's literally would be perfect. Literally two of the school gimmicks. Chase U is Alpha Academy's over on the main roster. Chase U is Wicked over in NXT. And also, you've got Maxine Dupree. She can deal with Thea Hale. You've got the two heavyweights, Hudson and Otis, and you've got two great wrestlers in Andre Chase and Chad Gable. I just think this is just like primetime television. Maybe that's something that will happen on the main roster, but I hope WWE doesn't miss out on it. And obviously, with covering NXT, Shawn Michaels is just Booker of the Year right now. I just wanted to drop this meme. But next up, Cora Jade faced Kalani Jordan. Kalani Jordan is wicked good. If you haven't seen her, she just made her debut last week, and Dana Brooke is sort of her trainer. And Kalani Jordan is going to be... I don't think it's going to be that long before Kalani Jordan really just climbs up the ladder. But, obviously, facing Cora Jade, who is one of the most notable women on the NXT roster, it was a good match. Kalani Jordan showed out once again, but Cora Jade picked up the win, and obviously it's always nice to see Cora Jade get a win. Now, are we going to see Cora Jade actually pick up a string of wins? Because obviously Dana Brooke and Cora Jade look like they're having a rivalry, which I think is just complete BS. That's no disrespect to Dana Brooke. It just, I don't care about a Dana Brooke and Cora Jade rivalry. I think Cora Jade just deserves to be in some of the top storylines in NXT, and I don't think this rivaling with Dana is it. And next up, we got a match that was gonna spit fire, and that was Braun Breaker versus Dragunov. The winner will face Carmelo Hayes at the Great American Bash main event. And as you can tell by the screen, Dragunov won, but oh my goodness. One of the NXT matches of the year. This will certainly be in the final five. I'm putting my money on it. I mean, this Braun Breaker matches are getting legit better. Not only that he turned heel, but it just seems like Braun Breaker's match quality has just gone out the roof. Like Braun Breaker is just his spears have gotten better. It's like Braun Breaker's really just evolving really well right now. And him and Dragunov, they were always gonna have a banger, but Dragunov is just so good right now. He's just like, I would debatably say maybe top 5 most banger match wrestler right now, Dragunov, and he's facing another guy that could have that title to his name, Carmelo Hayes. And you know, if you guys don't know, that spear in midair from Braun Breaker to Carmelo Hayes was just one of the most vicious spears I've ever seen. But Dragunov overcame that. He hit his finisher twice, and he ended up beating Braun Breaker. And we got our main event for the Great American Bash, which is already coming up very, very soon, July 30th, at the end of the month. And this match, I'm going to be glued to my television screen. Certainly going to be one of the best NXT matches of the year. I would even be willing to say I think it could beat out the Stand and Deliver main event, which, you know, it is going to be kind of hard to top that one, but I think Dragunov and Melo can absolutely do it. Next up, we have a Wesley backstage. We probably thought that Mustafa Ali was going to get involved, right? You know, he's got a match with Wesley coming up at the Great American Bash. No, more Judgment Day. Dom and Rhea. And Dom wanted to answer. He answered Wesley's open challenge, but this show is too stacked to have it on. So next week, Dom issued the challenge, and it was made official. Dom and Wesley for the North American Championship. I'm assuming that this is going to be the main event for the main event for the North American Championship next week on NXT. I think Wesley is going to retain. I want to see Wesley and Mustafa Ali one-on-one. I just think, even though it makes sense because of Judgment Day, their whole thing right now, they want to win all the gold. I just think a title change right here wouldn't make much sense. Wesley, I think this match is going to be great, and this is a great chance for Dom to showcase everything. But Wesley should win the title. Outside interference, I don't care. Wesley should win the title. We need to see Wesley versus Mustafa Ali at the Great American Bash. And obviously, let me know in the comments what you guys think about Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes facing off, and let me know if you guys think this match could be the match of the year for NXT, and let me know what your thoughts are on how much of a chance Dragunov has on dethroning Carmelo Hayes. Next up, I wanted to bring this to the attention because I thought it was just a nothing segment, Schism, sort of taunting Ivy Nile, but it wasn't really that because a part of the cult for Schism, these are clearly the creeds. I mean, I've watched WWE enough. I've watched NXT enough to know like body types and shapes of superstars, and this is totally the creeds. The creeds are totally trying to trick Schism, and clearly the creeds are not going to the main roster, which I feel like I just wasted like 3 separate posts talking about it. But I'll be very interested to see how this storyline plays out. I am interested. Maybe the Creeds just kidnap Ivy Nile and they all go to the main roster, which I hope they do. If they stay in NXT, I'm actually not going to like that outcome. Because the Creeds have done more than enough to get to the main roster. Just bring Ivy Nile with them to the main roster. Next up, we had the main event, and the main event was awesome. Obviously, the main event was Trick and Mello versus Priest and Balor. Main event was great. Obviously, Dom tried to get involved, tried to get a chair in there. Rhea was distracting. When Carmelo Hayes, but then Dragunov decided to want to help Carmelo Hayes. You know, Damian Priest tried to get the Money in the Bank briefcase involved, trying to pin Melo, and Melo and Trick had some great offense. And Trick Williams also just showing how underrated he is. I mean, I've always said that Trick Williams needs more respect on his name. The dude has an awesome ass moveset, and this match was really, really good. They did a great job booking. Sean did a great job booking this match. And at the end of the day, we all knew. I think we all deep down knew. Just it was improbable seeing the Judgment Day lose after the Monday Night Raw they had. Would it really make sense for the Judgment Day to drop one on NXT? I don't think so. But Carmelo Hayes, but Trick Williams wasn't the one that got pinned. It was Carmelo Hayes because he accidentally hit Dragunov, who tried to help Hayes, and the Judgment Day won. Balor pinned Hayes again, and I see a lot of people freak out about this, but I'm not freaking out because I think it's a long-term story where Carmelo Hayes will go to the main roster after he loses to Dragunov, which I will get to in a future video. And I think Balor and Hayes will be a story that will be told on Monday Night Raw rather than NXT. So that's pretty much it for the NXT review. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about Dragunov and Melo's match and NXT as a whole, and I'll see you guys in the next video.